started clapping, he turned away. Wrong, can they? His mastery of an audience was so evident that night, his ability to connect with a crowd was truly wondrous. As I said on the programme, I've been waiting 14 years for it to be like this. But of course, it's never been like that again. It's impossible. Bruce was, well, he was a one-off. There was only one Bruce. I'm thrilled that I've played a small part in his extensive career, and I'm honoured to have been his friend and to have been asked to speak about the experience of working with him tonight. I feel I should finish with a joke, as we're here at the London Palladium, the home of variety. A Max Miller joke. This is a star comedian from the 1930s onwards. So Bruce was a big fan of Max's, so I think he would probably appreciate this joke.
If it makes you feel sad, and I understand, you've come to shake my hand. I apologize. If it makes you feel bad, seize your pants. Don't self-confidence, can't you see? No, we're not sexy now.
A slaughterhouse. Something here is attracted to blood.
Kids won't even work for me in these rooms anymore.
It's a very serious situation.
I need you to come for my voice. Where are you?
There's someone behind you.
Oh my God! Who's right there? You okay?
There are things in this world that we will never fully understand. We want answers. We have worked years to build our credibility, our reputation, working alongside the most renowned professionals in the field, capturing groundbreaking proof of the paranormal.
It's working!
I can't give you an explanation.
This is our evidence, our ghost adventures. We're in Tucson, Arizona, and we're here to investigate a slaughterhouse, a place where thousands and thousands of animals were brutally butchered. And now, the question is, why is there something evil here, attacking dozens of staff members who are working a haunted Halloween attraction? The Farmer John meat packing plant was built in 1962 and closed in 2004. During its over 40 years of business, it's been riddled with stories of murder, violent hauntings, and urban legends. Its transformation into one of the scariest haunted houses in the nation seems to have only intensified the sinister and undeniable dark energy that fills this warehouse with chilling paranormal activity. There are things in this world that we will never fully understand. We want answers. We have worked years to build our credibility, our reputation, working alongside the most renowned professionals in the field, capturing groundbreaking proof of the paranormal.
It's working!
I can't give you an explanation.
This is our evidence, our ghost adventures. We're in the town of Magna, Utah. We're just outside of Salt Lake City. This is a historical town. It was settled in 1851 by Mormon pioneers. This is a really interesting situation we have here. You see right down this sidewalk to the left, it is a pizzeria. Yes, a pizzeria. Witchcraft and put a bad spell on the family that owns this pizzeria. This family has since then been having, I would say, some of the most disturbing and extreme negative hauntings that I've heard of in a long time.
He turned away wrong, can they? His mastery of an audience was so evident that night, his ability to connect with a crowd was truly wondrous. As I said on the programme, I've been waiting 14 years for it to be like this. But of course, it's never been like that again. It's impossible. Bruce was, well, he was a one-off. There was only one Bruce. I'm thrilled that I played a small part in his extensive career, and I'm honoured to have been his friend and to have been asked to speak about the experience of working with him tonight. I feel I should finish with a joke, as we're here at the London Palladium, the home of variety. A Max Miller joke. This is a star comedian from the 1930s onwards. So Bruce was a big fan of Max's, so I think he would probably appreciate this joke. This joke is at least...
Something here is attracted to blood.
Kids won't even work for me in these rooms anymore.
It's a very serious situation.
I need you to come for my voice. Where are you?
There's someone behind you.
Oh my God! Who's right there? You okay?
There are things in this world that we will never fully understand. We want answers. We have worked years to build our credibility, our reputation, working alongside the most renowned professionals in the field, capturing groundbreaking proof of the paranormal.
It's working!
I can't give you an explanation.
This is our evidence, our ghost adventures. We're in Tucson, Arizona, and we're here to investigate a slaughterhouse, a place where thousands and thousands of animals were brutally butchered. And now, the question is, why is there something evil here, attacking dozens of staff members who are working a haunted Halloween attraction? The Farmer John meat packing plant was built in 1962 and closed in 2004. During its over 40 years of business, it's been riddled with stories of murder, violent hauntings, and urban legends. Its transformation into one of the scariest haunted houses in the nation seems to have only intensified the sinister and undeniable dark energy that fills this warehouse with chilling paranormal activity.
I'm a doctor and I'm going shopping. That's right. I'm a doctor here and I'm going shopping. So here we go. After going all shopping, yikes. But the doctor would like to see the doctors now. And I just killed a load of dinosaurs in one shot. Awesome. That's why I'm called Doctor Who. Yeah, it's still me, the Doctor, so peace, and just cancelled in your eyes. In a different dimension, just for one day. So see ya till next time. I'm on killing synopsis. This isn't supposed to happen. I'm not supposed to be like a hippo. Not cool. My toys is just stuck, but I'm stuck on the shelf. No.
There are things in this world that we will never fully understand. We want answers. We have worked years to build our credibility, our reputation, working alongside the most renowned professionals in the field, capturing groundbreaking proof of the paranormal.
It's working!
I can't give you an explanation.
This is our evidence, our ghost adventures. We're in the town of Magna, Utah. We're just outside of Salt Lake City. This is a historical town. It was settled in 1851 by Mormon pioneers. This is a really interesting situation we have here. You see right down this sidewalk to the left, it is a pizzeria. Yes, a pizzeria. Witchcraft and put a bad spell on the family that owns this pizzeria. This family has since then been having, I would say, some of the most disturbing and extreme negative hauntings that I've heard of in a long time.
right past the protesters. A bunch of smiling, angry people were handing out these anti-evolution flyers.
Evolution is under attack in our schools?
I don't understand evolution, and I have to protect my kids from understanding it. We will not give in to the thinkers.
As a professor of science, I assure you that we did, in fact, evolve from filthy monkey men.
I cannot speak for you, sir, but my ancestors were not monkeys.
Hey, Professor, I'm a flying spaghetti monster. You seriously believe I'm descended from some kind of flightless manicotti?
Yes!
Oh, please. If your elitist East Coast evolution is real, why has no one found the missing link between modern humans and ancient apes?
Yes, they have! It's called Australopithecus africanus!
Oh, I've got you now. Fair enough. Things don't exist simply because you believe in them. Thus saith the almighty creature in the sky!
We just need to find that last missing link.
I found a missing link. It seems to be half man, half toucan.
Not what we're looking for. Throw it in the soup.
I hate chiseling right after a manicure. Oh, darn it! I broke off one of my fingers.
That's a bed spring, you dumb bed spring. There are no robot fossils.
What? Who says I didn't evolve?
Everybody! Eureka! It's the elusive missing link. This will show Banjo once and for all.
Yay! Ladies and gentlemen, Homo Farnsworth.
Once again, science saves the day.
Once and for all disproven evolution. Behold! Homo Farnsworth, frolicking with dinosaurs at the moment of creation.
This planetoid is completely lifeless.
Not lifeless enough. Set up my shack so I can kick you out of it. What's in the tube? Microscopic nanobots.
You stored the plastic skeletons too close to the furnace.
Ugh, nothing says you love a pet like letting him be part of the human fun. Who wants to be a Yoda? You want to be a Yoda.
Welcome, seasonal customer, to my pop-up emporium. Behold, my terrifying joke name.
Apo!
How about this deal? You buy one for me in cash, and I'll load 3 more into your car for free.
Tell me of this deal.
Okay, but don't tell old man Squishy about it.
We hate him. Get out, all of you!
You're gonna be real sorry for getting us fired.
I'm sorry now.
Always been known for their consistency. Characters wear the same outfits, plots are pretty similar, and you know what to expect with each new episode. But what happens when a character has randomly disappeared? From fan backlash to story inconsistencies, there have been numerous characters who just left animated shows with no explanation given. Before you see who was literally erased from shows, click subscribe. You'll join the Screen Rant notification squad and be the first to know of new content. Can you guess which movie is represented by these emoji? Stay tuned at the end to find out.
Where'd everybody go?
Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Dumb. Scooby-Doo got the good genetics in his family. A great long life, nice coat of fur, and the ability to speak. Well, kind of. As the mystery-solving canine became popular, we were slowly introduced to more and more family members. There was the short and emotional Scrappy-Doo, and his little-known cousin, Scooby-Dumb. The dim-witted character was, well, as dumb as they come. Sporting a lighter coat than Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Dumb made his debut on the Scooby-Doo show. Whew! Try saying that 10 times. The dog was obsessed with becoming a police officer even though he had no skills at sleuthing and seemed to be the polar opposite of Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Dumb wasn't scared of the ghosts and monsters everyone encountered because he was often unaware that they were even around. Stereotypical character only appeared in 4 episodes of the show before he disappeared completely. Apparently the dumb jokes could only go so far before viewers got bored. Maybe Mystery Inc. abandoned him like they did with Scrappy-Doo back in the day. Animators were also really inconsistent with the backstory of Scooby-Dumb, and a couple episodes referred to him as Scooby-Doo's brother, even though the fact is untrue. As a new Scooby-Doo film goes into development, we'll have to wait and see as Scooby-Dumb makes his long-awaited return to the cartoon canon.
Fella, I've grown sort of attached to it.
Well, you could at least stay on the ugly side of the ship.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Mona Lisa. Over the years, if there's one thing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has lacked, it's true romance. Of course, there's a lot of open flirting and innuendo with April O'Neil, but the show never moved forward with a human and turtle relationship. In an attempt to increase the romance in the original 1987 animated series, we were presented with a character known as Mona Lisa. In the episode titled Raphael Meets His Match, we learn Mona's backstory as she transforms from a girl to a salamander-type character after a nuclear waste incident. Raphael and Mona form a romantic relationship, with Mona making the move to New York City by the end of the episode. The whole story was exciting for a lot of viewers back in the early 90s who eagerly awaited Saturday to Saturday as the story continued. Only it didn't. Despite making the trip to the Big Apple, Mona Lisa never returned. Her characters were completely cut out, and now we know why Raphael can be a little hot-headed. The character did return in a completely different form for the 2012 Nickelodeon reboot. On the new show, she appeared in multiple episodes and shared some on-screen kisses with Raph.
Hey, Timmy, can you help me bury this bone and this bag of evidence? I know what you're thinking, but they're unrelated.
The Fairly Odd Parents, Sparky. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. For years, SpongeBob SquarePants has been working well, basically telling the same types of stories, including repeated attempts to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula. Fairly Odd Parents was right up there with SpongeBob until Timmy Turner's life turned into even more of a chaotic mess. After introducing us to Cosmo and Wanda's child named Poof, the Fairy Clan decided to add a pet into the mix. Meet Sparky. Fairy dog who grants wishes, delivers bad puns, and feels like a weird piece of fan fiction that turned into a whole season of the Fairly Odd Parents. Didn't the animators learn anything when Homer's dog character Poochie was added to the Itchy and Scratchy show on The Simpsons? Sparky lasted throughout all of season 9, but when season 10 premiered, the dog was just gone. No on-screen explanation or storyline. Sparky disappeared faster than the poof of a magic wand, and fans were actually excited to see the dog go, until they realized he was being replaced with Chloe. Chloe is Timmy's next-door neighbor, and someone who Timmy now has to share his fairies with. Bet he wishes the annoying dog could just come back.
None of this would have happened if I hadn't...
Arnold, don't be sad. You've taught me that some people can be trusted.
Hey Arnold, Tucker. Hey Arnold's PS 118 is filled with all kinds of students and quirky characters. Early on in the series, we meet a basketball all-star named Tucker. Tucker is actually the son of Coach Wittenberg, and all the other players have one directive: pass the ball to Tucker. Of course, by the end of the episode, Tucker and his dad learn the value of teamwork, and it appears like Arnold actually made a new friend. Or so we thought. Tucker just disappeared from the show, probably taking his talents from New York to the city of Miami. The odd thing about Tucker is his dad. Coach Wittenberg stayed around. Not only did the coach appear in multiple episodes, but so did his wife. Through multiple sports, including bowling and synchronized swimming, we see Wittenberg lead Arnold and his friends, with Tucker nowhere to be seen. In another odd choice, Coach Wittenberg and his wife, Tish, decide to renew their vows. He asks Arnold to be his best man at the wedding, and Tucker doesn't even show up for that event. Tucker's disappearance created a whole lot of mystery, but we see him reunite with his parents in the recently released Hey Arnold, the Jungle movie, where he appears in one scene with his parents.
Were a part of all of our lives when we were young. They were either sang to us or we sang them ourselves. But many of those songs that we sang out of fun actually originated out of dark and disturbing pasts. Here are 10 terrifying origin stories behind popular children's songs. Number 10 is Frère Jacques. Frère Jacques is an easy song for young children to learn, about checking in on Brother John's sleeping habits and reminding him that it is now morning. However, this 17th century song, originally sung by French Catholics, would be perfectly fine if it wasn't based entirely in bigotry and discrimination. Its origins trace back to when Catholics would walk through Jewish neighborhoods, taunting its residents on their way to Mass on Sundays when morning bells are ringing. The true meaning of the song actually suggests that Jewish people are a lazy and sacrilegious group who lay in bed on Sundays. A song based in prejudice that is still sung openly by children to this day, and they don't even know it. Number 9 is Rockabye Baby. Rockabye Baby is a song about a crook of a tree during a windstorm where a newborn baby is placed. However, it's not as innocent a song as you might think. King James II of the House of Stuart, who ruled England for 4 short, tumultuous years from 1685 to 1688, battled for supremacy with the English Parliament and lost, losing his crown along with it. James was the last Roman Catholic monarch of the British Isles, who desperately tried to create a male heir with his wife, Mary of Modena. However, after many failed attempts, they ended up smuggling a baby boy into the birthing room and claimed it was theirs. The wind blowing is said to be the influence of Protestantism from the Netherlands, and the tree metaphor itself describes James II's precarious position as an overly ambitious person who climbed too high and fell down hard. This song is literally about stealing a newborn baby. Number 8 is Sing a Song of Sixpence. The lyrics to Sing a Song of Sixpence are pure madness if you actually listen to them, almost as if a mad court jester himself wrote the lyrics. The modern version of this song often adds a stanza with a happy ending where the maid gets her nose back, but the original song is sinister in addition to being insane. The first known printed version of the song was found in Tommy Thumb's children's songbook, published in 1744, and has the pie stuffed with naughty boys. The song was also sung in ports as a code to recruit new crew for pirate ships, most famously Blackbeard, who paid a generous sixpence daily to his blackbirds. Disturbingly, these thieves and rapists would hide below the deck until they took ships by surprise and would literally and savagely cut off noses. Hence the lyrics of the song, "Along came a blackbird and snipped off her nose." Number 7 is Ring Around the Rosie. The true meaning of Ring Around the Rosie was actually to keep kids who lived during the Dark Ages compliant with horrifying songs of death and pestilence. Ring Around the Rosie is not a song about rosy-cheeked cherubs holding hands and frolicking in a circle, but instead is in fact about a plague called the Black Death that decimated 1/3 of Europe's population from 1347 to 1350, as well as the Great Plague of 1665, which killed approximately 100,000 in Great Britain. Ring Around the Rosie refers to rash marks on the skin, an early indicator of infection. A pocket full of posies was a superstitious way in the Middle Ages to ward off plagues with flowers in your pockets. Ashes to ashes refers to cremation, as well as the last rites given by a priest, and dust to dust we all fall down. Well, you can probably figure out the rest for yourself. Number 6 is Jimmy Crack Corn. You may have wondered just who this Jimmy fellow is, and why does he not care about cracking corn? Well, disturbingly, this seemingly innocent and simplistic children's song has its roots in the antebellum South during the dark days of slavery. The song was originally called Blue Tail Fly and was sung by the Virginia minstrels, racist white men in blackface mocking the recently emancipated slaves. The true meaning of the song is about an unhappy slave whose job was to swat flies away from his master riding on horseback until one of those flies bites the horse, causing it to buck, knocking the master off, who cracks his head open and dies. Jimmy Crack used to be Jim Crack, which was a cheap corn whiskey that this slave supposedly kicked back and drank while celebrating his master's death.
Turbocharged backpack. The genius sisters use him like a lab rat. The neat freak dad at home, a super busy mom. The boy's best friend is a talking dog. That's right. 3 extreme jeans and an airplane shot. Mega action game control and skating in the park. A federal booster bling bling. What do we make of this? Johnny says. time for what should be a very super duper exciting and totally painful night for the ice pigs. Hammerheads break away. He shoots. He's scared. He scores. And he's hurt. Oh, what a body check. Oh, another body check. Oh, more body check. I got it.
I am doing great tonight. 3 helmets, a goalie glove, and a referee. Now, if the Ice Pigs could just score a goal. Let's go, Ice Pigs!
Oh, the crowd of two is really getting into it.
Boo! Hammerheads weak! Boo!
And the Hammerheads don't like it. They're heading into the stands.
Are they allowed to do that?
It's hockey, Johnny. Since when are there rules?
Everyone's most amazing top 10. We often do science videos on here that are supposed to be fun, interesting, but sometimes scientists can provide us with some pretty scary information. One example is man-made climate change, the gradual warming up of the Earth and disruption of the climate that is affecting people, plants, animals, and the entire ecosystem all over the planet. They say a picture speaks 1,000 words. Well, here are some of the best for you now. My name is Danny Burke. This is the top 10 shocking climate change pictures. Also, before we jump into this, I want to tell you guys that we're going to be having our first ever most amazing meetup. It's finally happening after all this time. It's going to be at Dundas Square in Toronto, starting at 2 p.m. sharp. Bring your most amazing t-shirts and we will sign the first few that we see. It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know a lot of you guys won't be able to make it to Toronto though, but stay tuned because we'll be announcing more places soon. Coming in number 10 now, we have the Great Barrier Reef. This picture was shared by medium.com to show the widespread damage across 95% of the reef due to a bleaching event. In early 2017, marine biologists found hundreds of miles of coral ecosystems were damaged due to sea temperatures warming above the normal range for corals. Next up on number 9 now, we have Svalbard. Christian Asland is a photojournalist who works with Greenpeace, and he did a project comparing the glaciers of Svalbard, Norway, over the past 100 years or so. These images really speak for themselves. Norway has seen dramatic reductions in the size of its glaciers, and Christian hopes his startling pictures will bring awareness to the cause. Moving on to number 8 now, we have the River Ganges. India's most famous river supplies millions of people with the water they need for survival. Its seasonal flooding is a necessary and natural phenomenon, but climate change is thought to be responsible for excessive flooding there, as seen in these pictures. The 2015 flood hit eastern and central India hard. Over 6 million people were affected.